Here's how me and my business partner built a $1 million business. And most of you won't even watch this video all the way through because of how simple it was and what we focused on. But I'm gonna break it down step by step so that it's very easy to understand. I'm nobody special, number one. Just a small town, ex-blue collar guy that had an idea and stuck with it until it clicked. And a lot of failure and a lot of wasted investments. Well, not wasted. I had a lot of lessons that came from it. But I also want to give y'all some context to let you know a couple things. One, I am not a millionaire. Okay. Two, I am not rich with money. Far from it. Okay. I'm still a regular dude. I'm very humble, and I'm just thankful for all the things that I have and God's mercy that He's shown me. All right. So here's how me and my business partner built a $1 million business and helped a bunch of other people do millions of dollars in revenue. Okay. Number one, I made an investment, a lot of them, but the one that really clicked is what led me to want to build a personal brand. I started with my personal Facebook profile. That is how I made my first $100,000 in affiliate commissions. Okay. I was just using my personal Facebook profile, and I was posting written content with pictures, documenting everything that I was learning and sharing my lessons and failures. Now, from that content, I was talking to people and I was building relationships. People were relating with what I was sharing. And then I jumped on TikTok. I jumped on TikTok to be a supportive husband because my wife wanted to, do TikTok. This was back in 2020. And funny enough, I kind of took it serious. I saw a lot of people that were sharing wrong information and setting people up with unrealistic expectations, telling them that they could get rich quick. Because when you're starting any kind of business, online or offline, there is no get rich quick in there whatsoever. All right. But I started posting on TikTok and doing the same thing I was doing on Facebook, but with video, right? And I was really enjoying it. And at first, I sucked at video. I didn't feel comfortable on video. I didn't have confidence. I wasn't able to deliver my message the way that I wanted to. But I just kept showing up. All right. The next thing that I really focused on, I wish I'd have focused on sooner, was my own community. I finally built a Facebook group late in 2020 so that I could really document everything in a controlled environment. Right. So I built a Facebook group. And this is also where I met my business partner. Me and him, we had both jumped into the same mastermind, and I could tell that me and him were a lot alike. We were both girl dads. We both came from blue collar and construction, and we started going live together on TikTok. And he'll tell you, he's actually told this story a lot. I had just hit my first $20,000 month, and he was like, Flip, can you come hang out in my group and I interview you, in front of everyone to try and, help the folks that are in my group. So we did that interview, and what was really cool was everybody enjoyed it. It was like so good. This also helped Nate, and it helped me. We got closer. We realized that we actually had a lot more things in common, and we had the same goals. We wanted to spend more time with our kids. He's not married, but I am. I wanted to be home more with my wife. So I sent him a voice clip one day. I said, dude, why don't we run like a little workshop for folks, and not charge a lot. And it might have been a minute long, something like that. If he sees this, he can comment and say how long it was. He's probably still got the napkin where we wrote the idea on there. And we wanted to show folks how we were using simple content, both written and video form, to grow our groups and help people with all the things that we had learned, all the skills that we had learned. Because we accidentally figured out what we didn't know at the time was a solid strategy where people didn't have to join a bunch of groups and do a bunch of cold messaging and get on sales calls and try to sell to your friends and family and just add everyone as a friend that you could to try and pitch them your thing. That is what everybody hated doing. And we accidentally figured out a strategy to where you didn't have to do that, right? So me and him, we pulled the trigger and we decided to run this little masterclass or workshop, and it turned out to be a 4-day workshop. And we had 20 people pay us $500 because when we launched it, we made it a point and say you had to have something to sell already. You already had to have a business, and you had to be willing to post content, right? So we ran this 4-day workshop, and everybody loved it. Folks started implementing it, and people started blowing up their own groups. They started making high-ticket sales. They were selling their services and their physical products and their digital products. Like, everybody loved it, right? So we decided to open it up to the public because of the positive feedback that we got, right? Now, here's where it starts to get interesting, because me and Nate, we didn't create it to, you know, turn it into a buy this to sell this thing, right? Like, we are very, very against that. We want people to have their own personal brands, take their own knowledge, their own expertise, and sell whatever it is that they want using our you know, four-part strategy. And folks started asking. They was like, Flip, Nate, can we be an affiliate for you guys, because everybody in our audience needs this. Like, this is so different, it's unique, like it's much more than a course, and we really want to promote it and share it with our audience, right? So me and Nate, we talked about it, and we decided to do it, but we set some ground rules. You know, you can't promote it as a business opportunity, because that's not what it is. It's more of education around sales, marketing, branding, and selling without sales calls, running ads, joining groups, and spamming people. Like, it's building a real brand, and we got sales, marketing, and operations, right? So everybody agreed to that, and they had to go through our training and get results with our model, doing their own thing, before they could become an affiliate, right? Now, when we did this, more and more people started to join, and me and Nate finally started to realize that we actually had something crazy. And our mentor, Jacob Karras, one of the most solid dudes you'll ever meet. He's younger than me, has done 10 times more accomplishments than me. He's got like a 3-4 year head start, and he's just an absolutely solid dude. But we got on one of our weekly calls one day, and we always share wins. That's why we get our clients to share wins before all of the calls. And I was always one of the first ones to speak, believe it or not. And I remember I told him one day, I said, you know, one of my wins is I got 648 people coming into my, you know, waiting to get into my group. And that blew his mind, you know, because I'm not running ads, not spamming people, not sending mass invites or none of that. He was like, what are you doing? I was like, well, I got 648 people waiting to get into my group from one video. I said, we got that group juice. He snapped his finger. He said, that's your offer, right? That's how all of that kicked off for us to start it, right? And he let us know, he's like, that's going to be y'all's $1 million offer, which we laughed it off, right? And didn't take it, you know, to heart or think that it was serious. But that's what we focused on until we hit that milestone, and that it wasn't even a goal, but we took one product to over $1 million in sales, and now, you know, we've helped, I don't know how many people at this point, take their own unique businesses and use our model and do really, really well with it. We've sent out a few million in awards where folks went from 0 to 10K, or they went from 0 to 100K. Like, we've sent out a ton of awards, and those are the milestones that we cover, 10K and 100K. And, you know, a few folks have actually done multi-six figures and on their way to 7. But that's how we built a $1 million product, right? And we're not millionaires, we're not rich, we're not gurus, just regular people that had a goal, and we really wanted to help people, you know, plain as day. So anything is possible if you're willing to focus long enough, and you've got, you know, an attention span that is longer than a goldfish, and you really and truly want to impact people, and you put relationships over revenue, and really try to become a person of value. If you got any value from this video, let me know in the comments. Hit that follow button. Join our free group if you want. And I'm about to go hang out with my pastor for a little bit before I go pick up my girls. Y'all have a great day. I love y'all. God is good. And I'll catch y'all on the flip side. All right. Peace, love, chicken grease.